League 6 is coming to Oldschool Runescape on April 15th, and to get ready for that I have found 17 different tips and tricks you should definitely know about before you log into this temporary game mode and start your own adventure. As always, there are timestamps in the video, so feel free to jump around and see what interests you the most. Number 1. Tier 3 relics will all be teleports. That means you will see an interface pop up with dozens of different options. Jagex always struggles to put these options in the right order, and the keybinds for teleports are all over the place. But if you're using RuneLite, there is a plugin called Better Teleport Menu. This plugin allows you to hide all the unavailable teleports from your relic, so there won't be a list of 50 different teleports when you open up the interface. You can also use this plugin to keybind your favorite ones. So let's say you're picking Evil Eye Relic, which teleports you to any boss in the game. You probably want to set up your keybind one to Huey Quaddle boss in Varlamore, because you'll likely use this to bank most of the leagues. The relic teleports you just few tiles away from a bank, and this plugin makes that much faster. You don't have to scroll through dozens of bosses just to find the one you're looking for. All you do is click Evil Eye, press 1, and it takes you next to a bank. Number 2. Every player will have access to Blacksmith in Civitas Illas Fortis that repairs all your moon armor sets if you don't have the option available in your player-owned house. So if you're planning to do Moons of Peril to get that mid-game gear, you can come right here to repair your armor and weapon pieces. And while on the topic of Moons of Peril, you will also get some nice passive experience with Hunter if you pick the crabs inside the cave. As long as your Hunter level is more than 1, you can skip early game Hunter levels while doing Moons of Peril. These crabs are amplified even more by the experience multiplier in leagues. If you also pick Abundance Relic, you get even more because this relic has a flat bonus experience amplifier. Since Varlamore is our starter region, that also means having access to Hunter Rumors and Hunter's Guild. Bypassing those early levels will help you unlock Hunter Rumors much faster. Number 3. Since we're already on the topic of relics, let me give you a quick tip if you're planning to pick Friendly Forager. The description of this relic says that all potions created will have 4 doses instead of 3. But this also works with 1-dose potions. So random example, if you're making anti-venom potions, you need 20 Salra scales to make the 4-dose potion. But with this relic, you can just use 5 scales and it will also make a 4-dose potion. My favorite use for this is using crystal dust to make divine potions. Usually you would have to use 4 crystal dust to make a 4-dose divine potion, but with this relic you can just use 1 crystal dust instead. Basically any potion that requires stackable secondary ingredient can be used to cheat a little more potion out of it. I also really like another part of this relic where it says that you have 90% chance to not consume a secondary ingredient. If you don't know, a couple of years ago Jagex made a change where you can craft super combat potions with Dorstal unfinished potion rather than the herb itself. So that means if you're making super combats with this relic, the Dorstal potion counts as a secondary ingredient, meaning you'll have a 90% chance to not consume it. This can also be combined together with Butler Spell, where the NPC will make unfinished potions for you even if you're logged out, and you even get extra herb lore experience for it. It's a nice synergy between the two relics. And final tip for Friendly Forager is this. One part of this relic gives you free crimey herbs if you gather resources from woodcutting, fishing, mining, and hunter. You can do a little bit of cheating and only get the herbs you want rather than every type of herb. To do so, make sure you stack up the entire pouch with herbs you don't want first. So let's say I don't want qualms and marantils. I'll make sure my forager's pouch is full of those and the relic will only start spawning other herbs instead. You can basically manipulate this to give you only things like snapdragons and ronars. Once you go to bank, just empty out only the good crimey herbs and make sure the bad ones stay at the pouch. Now you have an infinite stock of the good stuff when picking this relic. Number 4. Did you know that there is a website that offers you some nice quality RuneScape merchandise? Well, you know what? Let me tell you all about it. I am once again partnering with Creator Crafted. They bring RuneScape to life by offering many different products like desk mats, LED signs, statues, pins, and much more. Currently they stocked up on brand new vibrant desk mats with plenty of different styles to choose from, and it's available right now in both standard and extra wide sizes. My personal favorite is the Desert Treasure 2 desk mat. It looks absolutely amazing and I just love the art style. On top of that, Creator Crafted has introduced Barrows pin sets. There's only 100 of these available in stock, so make sure to get them before they sell out. If you're looking to get something for yourself or someone close to you, this is a great time to buy some quality RuneScape merchandise. There's a link in the description. Use my code KriibusFC to get 10% off on your next purchase. Okay, let's continue. Number 5. If you have the conniving glue relic, you will start receiving glue contracts once you open up caskets. These contracts allow you to teleport to your current glue step, and this can be used to essentially give you a teleport option anywhere in the game. For example, let's look at fairy rings. We're gonna use a ton of these from day 1 going forwards. Let's say you pick Ascarnia. There is a glue step right next to fairy ring, so what you do is you complete glues until you get this step, and then you use glue contracts to teleport right here every time you want. Surprisingly, there are a lot of glue steps near boss entrances, and these contracts save you a ton of time. My favorite part is current Arceus Library bottom floor. A lot of players will probably do Arceus Library to get their magic and runecrafting levels up. There is a glue step that takes you right next to where you hand in the books for this minigame. That means you can collect all the books at the upper floor, and once you're done, use a glue contract, it teleports you to the bottom floor, and you can immediately hand the books in. It makes the grind a lot easier and faster. Number 6. Money is usually never a problem in leagues. So here's a fast tip. You're gonna have tons of GP after day 1 waiting to be spent. I wouldn't recommend holding on to this money, and instead try to convert your GP into leagues points. For example, last league's paying for permanent access in Brimhaven Dungeon was 200 points. It cost 1 million GP, and it was one of the easiest 200 point tasks in the entire league. And you can do the same thing in Tsar City. You can just buy tons of Chaos Runes, come here, turn them into Toggle, and use that Toggle to buy an Onyx, which is another 200 point task. You're gonna later use that Onyx anyways to make Amulet of Fury, so might as well come here and knock off this easy task. Same goes for Obsidian Armor and Weapons. All give points and all can be essentially purchased with money. My personal favorite use for money is training construction through elemental balances inside your player-owned house. If you didn't know, there is this level 37 construction method where you build a construction space called Elemental Balance. It costs 500 of each elemental rune, and it gives you roughly 1.5k construction experience in leagues per item built. At level 57 and 77, you can upgrade this to medium and greater balance. The point is, if you have leftover money from doing different activities, this is a really fast way to just level up your construction. Since all shops have infinite stocks, you don't have to worry about contesting runes with other players. So don't let your money sit in the bank. Use it to unlock tasks and upgrade your relics. Number 7. Since we're already on the topic of shops and infinite stock, there are a couple of ways you can really take advantage of that. Things like raw sharks in biscuitories are a great way to get your cooking level up. If your tier 1 relic is Barbarian Gathering, you can just fill up your knapsack with food extremely fast. Another food option is cooked garam ones in Garamja, which will be available to everyone pretty much from the beginning. It could be a great day 1 food option, and once again, even though the stock has 3 garam ones, it's still infinite supply. If you're looking at Varlamore, same exact thing. You have a gem store in Aldarin that sells infinite supplies of sapphires, emerald, and rubies. Right next to it, you have a wine store that sells food which heals you for 16 hit points. At Camderum, you have the pickaxe shop that gives you your first rune pickaxe. This is especially good if you're going Endless Harvest as your tier 1 relic and you're looking to start that mining training immediately. At the baking shop, we have garden pie that gives you +3 farming boost and a fish pie that gives you +3 fishing boost. Both very useful early on when you're looking to unlock certain tasks, but you just don't have the levels for it yet. We also have a rune shop that stocks infinite amount of nature runes. So if you're planning to take Transmutation Relic, you need 1 nature rune for each cast. And this shop kind of solves that problem. It also has death runes, law runes, chaos runes, and elemental runes. If you're going magic, this is a very good shop to use on week 1. On top of that, if you're planning to pick something like Transmutation again, you can just buy death runes from this shop and turn them into blood or wrath runes immediately, which is going to be extremely powerful for magic builds. I personally really like the round one and all the shop that region offers. If you're going melee, it has some decent early game options for weapons. Also, you immediately unlock Crystal Bow as soon as you unlock this region. So if you're planning to do range build and need a decent day 1 weapon, you can just pay 750k for a Crystal Bow and it will get the job done. If you're going Kandarin, there's a shop at Ranging Guild that sells infinite stock of arrow shafts, so if you want to start your fletching training on day 1, it's a great place to do so. Overall, you can figure out what kind of regions you're picking before release and then go over all the shops those regions have. Number 8. This is just a speculation, but in previous leagues, everyone who picked Kandarin already had 1001 Chompy Gills, and equipping almost every hat was a task. And I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but it might. You can just go talk to Rants once and you get free points immediately. There is a chance Jagex may fix this for League 6, but if not, this will basically give you free 500 points in just a minute, and it did work in all previous leagues. Number 9. Let's briefly talk about Larcenist and how incredibly good this relic is. Firstly, it can be stacked with Rogue's outfit. So if you're planning to pick a Skarnia, combining these two together is amazing loot. Larcenist itself gives you 10 times more loot from pickpocketing, and combining that with Rogue's outfit gives you 20 times more loot. So where can this be useful? Well, let's look at the regions like Kandarin and the Run one first, as there are many pickpocketing options. Firstly, in Prifddinas you can pickpocket the elves and get 20 enchanted teleport crystal seeds at once. Now, what does this mean for your other skills? Well, once you get those 20 enchanted teleport seeds, you can turn them into crystal shards, and those allow you to complete one of the best crafting and smithing training methods in the entire game. If you combine together your crystal armor seed with crystal shards, you get so much experience at the singing bowl. With League's multipliers, you can get 50 million crafting and smithing experience per hour, and it's basically only possible because of the Larcenist thieving relic. Even the normal loot with elves is 20x, so instead of getting 2 death runes, you get 40 death runes. Instead of getting 350 coins, you get 7k coins per pickpocket. And this works with other regions as well. For example, blood shards in Mauritania. You will get 20 blood shards with Rogue's outfit and Larcenist at once. My favorite part is clue scrolls, as they also stack together. So if you have Larcenist plus Rogue's outfit, you get 20 clue scrolls at the same time. This is extremely good in places like Kandarin, where you have multiple sources of clues coming from thieving. If you're planning to go with Askarnia anyways, picking Larcenist is a very good option to never worry about money. Number 10. Now this needs confirmation from Jagex, but I'm still gonna put this out there just in case, because I don't want players to get confused on day one why this doesn't work. Mother Reload Mine is bugged. It just doesn't work in leagues very well. There's probably going to be a task to wear the entire Prospector outfit, but you will get nuggets the same way you would get in the main game, despite the fact that you should be getting 5 times more resources. There seems to be a hard cap of 3 nuggets per deposit no matter how much you put in. If you go over the 3 nugget limit, the pay dirt just gets deleted. But there is a workaround for that. What you do is drop half of your pay dirt and make 2 deposits of 14 instead of 1 deposit of 28. You will still reach the hard cap limit of 3 nuggets, but you'll get so many more nuggets per hour. There could be a chance this gets fixed, but considering that this bug has been around for every league since the beginning, I very much doubt so. Number 11. I want to talk about the amplifier buff you get with minigames and how to efficiently use it during leagues. If you get tier 4 relic unlock, one of the passive effects is that you will get 8 times more minigame points. With the minigame amplifier buff, you can get some serious action on day 1. We first have to look at Desert and things like Guardians of the Rift, which is an amazing minigame for early game. But even things like buying runes from the Mage Training Arena is extremely good if you're struggling with money. You can seriously get like thousands of runes per hour, and any leftover points can be spent on completing tasks in the minigame. If you go to Karamja, first thing that pops in is Brimhaven Agility Arena. You now get 8 reward tickets per run instead of 1. It's a very decent agility training method now, and there's gonna be tasks there anyways. Even in Mastering Mixology, you get 8 times more points, and that means you unlock the rewards much faster, and also it makes getting points much easier. My personal favorite is definitely gonna be minigames like Temporos, Winterdot and Forestery, where you can just stack up those points so extremely fast and hit that dopamine rush with green logs and task completions. Very, very fun. Also, keep in mind that minigame teleports in leagues don't have any cooldown. So if you want to teleport to any minigame in your regions, you can just do so at any time and not worry about waiting around. Okay, number 12. Please save your achievement diary lamps after you get the 16 experience multiplier. You don't have to use them up right away. If you complete the diary in your region or complete a tier of combat achievements, just let that lamp sit there with the NPC until you get the higher tier of relics and bigger multiplier. For example, I'm planning to dump all my lamps into agility, and getting 6 million agility experience basically puts me immediately to level 91 without even touching the skill. But that also requires me to wait until I have my experience multipliers and then use the lamps. Number 14. If you're looking for a cozy build in the skill tree, there is this really interesting variation for magic that basically allows you to stay full health at all times, and is a very safe option when doing PvM. I'll put a link in the description for this build, but it comes down to the fact that you're regenerating runes. That regeneration gives you extra magic levels, it also restores your prayer, it also has 130% accuracy in all combat styles, it gives you plus 35 permanent defense boost, it gives you tons of overheal, it gives you magic strength, magic accuracy, and it's it's an extremely safe option to pick if you're trying to learn a new PvM activity through Magic. So if you're a beginner and you haven't decided on what build to go with, this could be one of the options to choose from. Number 15. This is a general tip for day 1 specifically. Region unlocks are based on task completions rather than total points you have. So to unlock your regions faster, I would recommend prioritizing easy tasks early on that give less points, and once you have multiple regions unlocked, you can start targeting harder tasks to get more points. It's actually not very efficient to go for 200 and 400 point tasks immediately. There are some easy options, but ideally you want to do big quantities of tasks rather than few tasks with a lot of points. Like for example, in last leagues you needed to complete 90 different tasks to unlock your first region, and then 200 tasks for second and 400 for third region. Completing 90 difficult tasks is gonna take you so long in one region. So basically try to look for easy 10-point tasks, unlock your second region and take it from there. Number 16. Implings in leagues have some unique effects that don't happen in the main game. Firstly, Dragon Implings in the leagues drop much less noted Dragon Bones than in the main game, but it will be made up by the fact that Impling spawn rates are much higher in leagues, so you will see more Implings in general, which should make catching them much easier. This also can be combined with Conniving Glue Relic, where all Implings have a 1 in a 15 drop rate for Glue Scrolls. And since Sonaris counts as a general area this leagues, that means that every player will have access to Poro Poro to catch those Implings. There is a real chance you can get like 20 Dragon Implings per hour in certain scenarios, and that makes completing some tasks much easier. And finally, number 17. I actually have so many more facts than 17, so I'm just gonna do a quick fire round of tons of facts in less than a minute because I don't know where else to put this. So here we go, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Salra in main game has a damage cap of 50 per hit. This is removed in leagues and you can deal as much damage as possible. Pretty much all the resources in leagues will respawn much faster. Magic trees, runite rocks, ground items, almost any resource that has competition will have 3 times faster spawn rate, and this also includes forestry events. When you buy your first house, you can access that in Aldarin only, until you unlock more regions, and your house can only be moved to regions that you have already unlocked. Farming cycles are 1 minute instead of 5 minutes in leagues. That means if you plant something like Snapdragon Seed, it will take you 16 minutes for that seed to grow instead of 80 minutes in total. And you don't need any relics for the speed up as well. And that is pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more leagues content. I have like 5 other league videos ready to go, and I'll see you in few days with another video. Bye!